Yo, welcome to the Q. I'm King Tef.
Hypnotic
and Jalu.
Oh, he just gonna
we was going to introduce you, but
I was trying to keep up with the pace.
We was gonna give it to you. But we are here at Side 3 Studios. This is sponsored by Side 3 and the Concert app. And we are here with Jalu, of course.
Jalu. Now, before we start this, walk us through Wisconsin, because that's where you're from.
I'm from Wisconsin, Madison.
Okay, what is Wisconsin like? Give me a day in Wisconsin.
Well, the main question that I get coming from Wisconsin is, so you like cheese? Which, I mean, yeah, who doesn't? But no, I grew up in like kind of a stereotypical Wisconsin area. Like we're on the edge of the city, but also there was farms everywhere. My middle school was just surrounded on every side by farms.
Okay. Now, this may be a bad question. Have you ever been cow tipping?
No, surprisingly
No.
not.
Your homies? Is that something?
Honestly, that's not.
It's not typical.
Not something that at least my
Okay.
group was doing.
This will probably get us in trouble with all the animal lovers too. So that's probably in this day and age, you gotta be careful what you ask. You know. Okay. What's up? What you got, Tef?
Oh, well, I was just gonna start talking straight into
The music?
With the music. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Before we bring that up, the reason why I bring up Wisconsin is because he came into concert. He's already performed like 7-8 times, headlined twice or once. He's one of the moving up fast to be one of the top artists, and he's not even from here.
yeah.
Well, the Wisconsin music scene is not what this place is. I mean, you know, it's hard to break out there.
Yeah.
If you even can. I mean, I can only name one or two people I know that have actually made it out of Madison. So it's cool to be in a different area and to have like such a good reception, especially because, I mean, it's Colorado. So many people are not from here. And
Okay.
it's...
So why did you move out here?
Well, I moved here when I was 22, like right after I got out of school.
What are you, 23?
I'm 25. I'm 25 now.
Okay,
Not
okay,
now.
okay.
About to be 26. But I moved out here like right after school just because I lived in Wisconsin my whole life, and it was kind of just time for me to get out of there and time for me to experience something new. And I've always wanted to live in Colorado. I'm a big snowboarder, and I like nature and just sitting out in the woods. So it's the right place to do it.
Okay. What do you like? So you came out here. Did you come out here with Worley?
No, so I originally moved out here with a girlfriend, and we moved in together. And then about 2 months, about 2 months later, I found a guy on Facebook, and I slept in his closet for a couple nights. And then I found a new house to live in because that whole thing had just kind of fallen apart. But
Okay, so you can't. Oh, wait, so let me just break this down. So you moved out here from Wisconsin. You met a guy on Facebook and slept in his closet. Is this after the breakup or before the breakup?
this was right after the breakup.
Because I was going to explain your breakup if I was like, well, maybe.
The night after the breakup, I slept in my car, and then the night after that, I ended up finding these guys like in the apartment building over, and they had a room, and then I got there, and it was a closet with no lights. But that was only like 3 nights.
And then you figured it out?
Yeah, I ended up moving to a different house, but
Okay,
You
so
know,
is that what
that's
one of the
the-
songs is about? Have you made a song about that
partially.
breakup?
So not that breakup. So Supposed to Be is kind of about like packing up all your stuff and moving across the country because you feel like you're kind of. I don't want to say I was like done with Wisconsin, but it felt like I wasn't really going anywhere
yeah.
there. Especially because I had just studied finance. I got out of school, and by the time I was a senior, I was way deep into music production, sound design, and all that stuff, rather than math and finance and that kind of stuff. But I stuck it through, and it's a good fallback, I guess. But
So it sounds like from that last song, you may be in love again.
yeah,
Did you meet her at a concert show? Did you meet her at a concert show or at where is this? Tell us a story.
Well, I met this girl on the internet, so
Okay.
it's a classic.
He's on the internet a lot. This whole story
Hey.
is like he find a place to stay on the
yeah,
internet.
exactly. That's how you build your life nowadays.
I guess so. That is some real. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a new phase of love, I guess.
Okay. New phase of love. Well, at least she's producing good music.
Yeah,
Good song.
yeah,
It's a good song.
yeah.
Inspiring. Okay.
And it's funny because like originally that song was like halfway written, and then I met her,
Uh-huh.
and then the rest of the song just kind of like fell together like super quickly.
So we can't ask you any groupie stories, and I assume.
we can't answer
Yeah, we'll
that.
just
we'll
skip past that question because sometimes we like those,
those juicy
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
But so was your first show in Colorado the one at the Roxy?
Yeah, that was my first like real show, I can call it. But I've performed a few times in Wisconsin just for like parties, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, decent sized groups of people, but nothing that was ever like set up and promoted. And
Is Kobe from there? Where's Kobe from?
Kobe's originally from New York, and he moved here. I don't even know how long ago, maybe 8 years ago. But
So because he was Roxy, Two Black Buzzards, Roxy, Two Black Buzzards. What did we say just a little ago? He's done
Rooftop.
Blues in the Springs. He did the Rooftop, and he's done Meow Wolf with us.
Sold out.
yeah, that was crazy.
That was a good. So what do you think? Like, if you were to give any artist advice, like, what's one thing you've learned, like, from going from no shows barely to now? What's like one tip you can give? Like, hey, this is something that I learned from doing all these shows, or being in front of people, or something not to do, or something to do, or.
I guess like being patient with stuff, because especially at these shows where there's a lot of different artists playing, that's a lot of people to manage. And, you want people to hear your music, so you just got to be patient and, going through sound check for 6 or 7 different artists and trying to figure out what the, set list and lineup and everything is. That can be stressful, but at the end of the day, you need to be there. Like, that's probably the number one thing that I could say is just be there, and opportunities will follow.
It's crazy because, like, I remember when we did, we would do Fillmore, and it was a sold out show, but we'd have to show up at like 2 or 1 o'clock and sit in the
And they lock
basement.
you in?
Yeah,
Well,
like,
they took the weirdest thing because they would like lock you in and be like, you can't leave. You could only like leave for like what, lunch or something. Oh, it was like
well, some of
something
these
weird.
shows I don't even know if we were supposed to be on, and it was just like we snuck in a song or something, and it's like sit there for 10 hours to do one song, but
Exactly.
but it's worth it if you grind, and I think that's what this whole game's about is like doing shit you don't like to get to the point where you do shit you like. I don't know.
And even though it can feel like work, like lately, it's been feeling more like work because I'm trying to prioritize all the different facets of trying to be an artist, whether that's the social media side of things, the songwriting side of things, the promotion side. Once it gets more serious, you start to kind of buckle down with it, and it's less of a hobby and more of a, your livelihood.
It's an everyday thing. So you're from Wisconsin, and you're not like considered, because the first time I heard you, I was like, you guys are kind of like a rap indie pop style. What do you consider right now? Like, what would you say you are if I was to put you in a genre? Which I hate genres. It's just
Shoot, I mean, if you want to name the genre, I always just tell people indie pop.
Yeah.
That kind of seems to be, the most accurate. But I don't know. I would hate to compare myself to Mac Miller ever, because he's one of the greatest. But I feel like I kind of align with that, where, he obviously has hip hop influences, but then there's other songs where he's a lot more bubbly and a lot more singy. So I try to, I listen to metal and rap and EDM, and I try to take influences from everywhere.
Who's your top 5 dead or alive?
Man, that's a tough question. All right, so I've been listening to a lot of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, some crazy Australian psychedelic rock.
Okay.
Odessa is probably up there. Just kind of like that ambient stuff that plays with your mind. Led Zeppelin has always been one of my favorite bands. Taj Sultana in the most recent years. She's just
Okay.
super insane the way I align with her. And then I guess the Dead. Grateful Dead. I mean,
Okay.
I'll hop on the bandwagon there, but they've always had a special place in my heart.
So do you trip acid and shrooms? Are you excited?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when
Is this
when quarantine started, there hit a certain point where I was like, all right, dude, your brain is soup. Let's take a little break.
Yeah.
But as of late, it's it's always a good thing. I feel like mushrooms are always a good way to kind of reset your mind.
It's balance. Yeah.
If you don't do too much of them, you know, you can kind of realign and say, you know, here's what actually matters in life, and here's what I'm holding on to, but actually doesn't matter. And I don't know. I feel like it's a good spiritual cleanse.
Okay. You ever done DMT?
I have out of a pen, but I feel like that doesn't count.
I don't know. I haven't
You're
done it. I've always wanted to do it, but
Dude right here.
Hey.
Where do you even know all this stuff?
in my past life,
be like, well, you want to try
past
it?
life, I've done it all. So you know, it's like I haven't done DMT yet. I want to. So,
I mean, yeah,
someone
I'll
actually
try.
gave me a chocolate bar the other day. Shout out to Brian. He gave me this full chocolate bar that was like wrapped in branding, and it was like shrooms.
Yeah.
I haven't had it yet because I quit sugar for now, but it's sitting there like one of these nights I'm gonna get creative and make some weird shit.
Yeah, I mean that's
May or may not send it out,
You don't have to choke down those grody toadstools. Then.
Yeah. Yeah, I told, someone was like, what are shrooms made out of? I was like, well,
Mushrooms.
where do you find it? Don't you find it in shit? Isn't that where?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm not, don't
Is
quote me
it?
on this.
Is
I
it?
think it really is, yeah.
It
That's
comes.
Horrible.
I mean, mushrooms
Hey.
grow from any like dead organic matter.
Mm-hmm. Organic. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I'll have to fact check that. We don't have we're not that sophisticated where we got a fact check there on site, but we are getting there.
Fair.
As we say more stuff, we have no idea what we're talking about. We're getting there.
We just lead people in the wrong direction.
Yay.
Just the wrong news.
You
want
to be creative? Try this.
Yeah. I'm not condoning any of it.
Yeah,
I do it, but
Well, it's good. So out here, do you have any artists out here that you've met that you're just like, these are super talented artists. I want to work with this guy from Colorado.
yeah. So actually, at that Colorado Springs show at the Black Buzzard, I got to see Isaac's set.
Yeah.
And his whole band. I mean, that trumpet player, keyboards, drums.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
cool because I feel like at least what I've been surrounded by lately is a whole lot of hip hop.
Yeah.
And like I love hip hop, but it's cool to see real instrumentalists still coming together.
Well-
Because it's hard, honestly. It's hard for me to find people to play with.
Yeah. Well, I think it's dope. It's dope for us because like we come from a hip hop rap background, a little bit of R&B, so we don't get a lot of options to work with artists like you. And now every time there's an artist that's like you, we're like, oh, Isaac Fozzy, there's Grayson, there's we're starting to get more, and I think it's exciting breaking into these different lanes because the thing that irritates me with hip hop right now is that people get so content and lazy on just not performing anymore. I see people put the mic down while their songs are going. I see like when you have an instrument or you do it without the vocals, you actually have to perform.
Yeah.
And I don't judge people. I don't care if they use vocals or not, but it's still like, what do you think?
I feel the exact same way because I come from a world where you had to perform. Because remember, like when I was a kid, I used to dance like Michael Jackson and shit. So
Yeah.
you had to really be doing what you were doing. So like now that dudes don't really even do nothing on stage. Like now they just stand there, and it's getting like worse and worse to me. So then when I see someone actually use an instrument or dance or actually like perform and
Entertain.
engage the crowd, like that's what I want to see.
Yeah, you
know
got
what
to
I'm
show
saying?
your personality.
I don't see it. Yeah, that's where it's like, I hope these artists start stepping it up in a sense because, and it's no diss to them. I don't even know if they know, right? Like it's one of those things where it's like unless you force yourself out of the box, then you're just stuck on what you see. And when I go to national shows, I don't even go to them anymore. When I did, I just see the national artists doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But it shows in numbers. Like, so because people pay to see you because they want to see a show. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, it shows in the numbers. Like, you can always tell, like, people who perform good, they show up for them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, you was right before us at me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want to see it. Like,
Yeah. So what's this year look like? Like as we get through this year, where are you going with your music? Like what's your idea? What's your hope?
You know, that's kind of difficult to plan out your career as an artist because I've found that there's just so many things that are either going to fall through or are going to pop up same day. You need to be here and do this and that. And I like the kind of unpredictable side of
Yeah.
everything. But if I could say like one goal that I have is to be more like proud of myself in the work ethic that I have, because no one sees you at all times except you, and I know that I could be putting in more work, and I know that I could be just doing better in general.
Accountability?
Yeah, and I just think self-accountability should be kind of my main theme this year, and I think if I can really lock in and focus on that, then I can make something happen.
I think one thing that's helped me with that is even having a partner who's not your yes man.